Now that we have both the iOS and the Android applications ready to start displaying a map into the screen and to get the user location, it's time for us to start displaying a map into the screen. And we're going to be doing that directly from the Portable Shared Library project. We have been working a little bit from platform-specific projects. Right now we're going to head back to the Portable Class Library project, which is shared. And again, everything that we do is going to be shareable. So we're going to be defining the map inside of the map page. And currently we have a content created by a stack layout and a label. But right now, what we want is a map. So we're going to be deleting the current content for the content page, and we're going to be needing to define a map. But the map that we want is inside the Xamarin Forms Maps namespace that was added when we added a reference to that Node.js package. So we're going to have to do some definition of a namespace in here that I'm going to be calling maps. And that is going to be equal to xamarin.forms.maps. And actually we're probably going to have to define the entire namespace, so we can write CLR, which stands for Common Language Runtime, dash namespace, and establish the value ourselves, which is going to be xamarin.forms.maps. Then we're going to have to add a semicolon and establish the assembly to be xamarin.forms.maps. And so this is going to be the entire definition for the namespace. And inside of the content page, we will have to access that namespace, which is maps. And inside of that namespace, we're going to find the definition of the map. And it's this kind of map, the one that we're going to be using. Now, before moving forward, it's important that we set the value for a couple of properties for the map. And that is the horizontal options, which is going to be set to fill and expand, so we use the entire available horizontal space, as well as the vertical options, which is also going to be set to fill and expand. With these two values set, the map should now use the entire available screen real estate to display the map. And finally, before testing this, what I also want to do is set the name, so we eventually have access to this from the C# file. And the name is going to be locations map. And that's it. Let's try to run this application on the Android simulator. So with the application up and running, we can log in and we can navigate to the map tab where the map page is being displayed. And you can see how indeed we are displaying a map. So we are certain that the map is now entirely working, at least on our Android application so far. It is a good idea to test this on an iOS device as well. So I am going to change to select the iOS project. I'm going to make sure that I'm connected to my Mac. And once I am connected, I can select one of the simulators and click on Run. And so once the application is up and running, we can log in, navigate to the Map tab as well, and we can see that we are also able to display a map inside of iOS. This means that we have successfully performed the necessary tasks on both the iOS and the Android projects to be able to display a map. Before moving forward into displaying the location as well, what I want to do is change the map type. So I can access the map type property for the maps and notice that I have three options. I can select between hybrid, satellite, and street. For example, let's try out hybrid and run the application again. We can test this on both the Android and the iOS projects, and this will apply to both. We should see the changes on both the Android and the iOS simulator. Here, for example, I have the iOS simulator, and when I navigate to the map tab now, you can see how, because this is a hybrid type, both the streets are displayed, but the map type is also being displayed as a satellite view. And the same will apply for Android if we were to test this on the Android simulator as well. So I have here the Android simulator. I am going to log in, navigate to map, and notice that we do see that hybrid view as well. The reason why I wanted to show you this is because I want to make the point that this Xamarin Forms map allows us to modify and interact with the map control and native map control in a very easy way. These are being rendered as entirely native. native on Android, native on iOS, but we only have to do this once from a shared map definition in SAML. And this is of course only one of the things that you can change. There are many properties assigned to the map class, the map type that we have defined in here. This is just a very simple definition of a map so far. We have added the map to the map page, and we have changed this type from street, which was the default, to hybrid. In the next lecture, we're also going to learn how to use this map to display the user location, which is going to be surprisingly easy, by the way.